Hey everyone, welcome back to the Excel and graphing videos. In the last video we had just finished making our line of best fit. This time we're going to start adding error bars. So let's get started. Alright, let's get into adding error bars. Alright, I've just clicked on the data series and I'm going to right click because I want to add error bars. Okay, there we go. We want to format the data series. So click on it to select them all. Right click, format data series. Over here in the left hand options is error bars. Click on that. It gives me the options for X and for Y error bars. Now I'm pretty much always going to want Y error bars because the dependent variable is pretty much always more uncertain than the independent variable. And I can say for those of you doing IB, those of you who are in my class, IB doesn't really care which one you do. It wants one of them. And generally it's okay if there's Y error bar. I haven't really seen them try or worry about having the X and the Y. Generally they don't. So I want to display both error bars. Over here on end style, you can add a cap, which adds this little sort of eye looking thing to them. And that's okay if you want to add that. I actually like to add it. It shows where the ends of the error bars are. Over here is the options for how to enter the amount of error. Now it could be a fixed value. Let's say all your velocities, you calculate it out. This would be especially good for the distance graph. In your distance graph, let's say everything is off by 0.05 millimeters. So you could put in 0.05. So actually it's 0. Let's see, this is the centimeters. Yeah, 0.05. And then hit enter. And you'd have, well, you can't see them. And that's a bit of a problem. That's why I like to have very small dots. It makes it easier for these to see. Let me click back on here, those error bars. But let's say we had something more like 0.5. No, that's not good. Let's say something like, oh, it's actually, well, let's say we had 10 in that. You don't have to be able to see these error bars. That's one of the things. I find a lot of times students wonder why it is they can't see their error bars and what that means. Honestly, what it means is you had a very small error, and that's not a problem. However, you will need to say in your report that the error bars are too small to be visible. That's to show that you tried to make the error bars and you recognize that so that they recognize that you worked on it. You worked at that part, but that they're just not visible. You can't really see them. In many cases, you're going to want a custom error amount. This is what you'd use if the error is different for each dot. For example, if it has to be calculated based on, usually if it has to be calculated, it's going to be different for every point. We want to specify a value of this. To specify a value, we're going to select the cells that give us our error values. We're going to go back to sheet 1, and this is why I made the uncertainty values over here. Let's see, let's select from here down. I don't have them all filled in last time. I'm going to select from here down, and that's going to be my error values for the velocity. We left out the first one, and we're just going from the second one down. And then we will copy and paste that to here because the negative and the positive error values should be exactly the same. And there we go. You can't really see that, but I'm going to go back and change it so that this is better. 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. Okay, let's go back to that sheet. 2. And you can see how the error bars get bigger as we go along. You'll often see things like The error bars get bigger as you go along because they're, with the small values, they're small uncertainties. With the larger values, it's larger uncertainties because they're relative to the size of your measurement. Let's see. So we have the column. I think that's actually it. So right now we have a much better graph. We've included our trend line. We have included, our line of best fit. We've included our error bars. So right now we're doing pretty well. There's going to be one more video. This one is only really necessary for my students. It's really only necessary for those of you who are doing physics. In physics, we worry about the math that you have to do on your data is a bit more, you have to do more math on it, let's put it that way. And that means you have to do something called linearization, which means you take your relationship and you turn it into a straight line graph. Those of you in chemistry, you're not required to do it. It might be, you might want to view it, to view this next video and use that to learn how to work with linearization. But you don't really have to. But if you want to, it's going to be up fairly soon. So you can check that one out. So I think that's basically it. Thanks for watching.